kí gbogbo ojú tó wò mí káàkiri ayé, mo kí wa lọ́kùnrin lóbìnrin lọ́mọdé lágbà nínú ilé yìí, mo kí wa pa àkú dédé àsìkò yìí. Ojú tẹ́ fi ń wò mí ò ní fọ́, etí tẹ́ sì fi gbọ́ mi ò ní di. Ọ̀rọ̀ tó lọ rèé lórí ìkànnì BGI TV bàbá gbàgede mọ̀ tẹlifíṣàn lórí YouTube, gbàgede mọ̀ with Aláwìyé Adébáyọ̀ lórí Facebook, gbàgede mọ̀ _22 lórí Instagram, then Mr TikTok lórí TikTok, tàbí kẹ́ search fún gbàgede ìmọ̀ _2 ìkànnì méjèèjì ẹ̀rí wa nínú TikTok. Lẹ́nìí ẹ wá nǹkan fìdílé tàbí ká fìdílé nǹkan kẹjá jọjọ gbádùn ètò ọ̀rọ̀ tó lọ ti tòórọ̀ yìí.
In my people, Fulani people for it. This is my statement. Fulani people, you don't know yourself. You are ignorant of who you are and you are ignorant of your history, which is why you do the wrong thing at the wrong time. You are not from Nigeria. Why are you creating problems with Nigerian people? You are not from Ghana. You are not from Cameroon. Ya Pullo, Felatiyin. You are descendants of Umayyad conquerors. You are the Moors that invaded Spain. Your nature is to want to spread Islam, but you cannot spread Islam in certain areas in certain time periods. If you do it, it will be by force and it's not going to work. As nomadic people, the future is not to keep on going more and more south into the lands that your ancestors called the Sudan and invade farmers' land. The future of the nomads is to take back the north, which is your ancestral lands.
So where is Mr. President taking this aviation to split it? We are not accepting it and we are not agreeing. I understand Mr. President want to spread anything from the north. He can build anything if he like in Lagos, but that aviation, nobody can split it. We will not accept it. And I want our governor from the north to understand, and another elder, this person is not watching us well. And is not watching us for anything training. Yes. So please, let us put heads together and stand. Say no to splitting of aviation. If they want, that aviation is the best in West Africa. One Obasanjo came on board, he upgraded. One Eradua come, he upgraded. One Jonathan come, he upgraded. One Barry come is the same thing. So why must Mr. President want to split it? From fuel subsidy, you come back to tax, you come back to 15 trillion of your company. Okay, what do you want to do with us for not, for God's sake? Is a vote, is it a problem to vote you? Is it a problem? Just we vote you and you want to just punish us on every of our things we have in the north, you want to take it to south. Is that how they do something, okay? Southwest, why? Why are we, is it an offense to give you enough boys from the north? So, nobody can separate that. That thing, nobody can split it, is to see political, it's our own. We build it with our money in the north. So why would you want to carry it to this thing? If you want to go and build another one in Lagos. Okay, why don't you carry Yaba College of Technology to split it into 10 places? Why don't you carry Yaba College and split it into that places? Or School of Accountants in Lagos? Split it to that places. Why? Okay, why don't you split them? Why don't you build port in Port Harcourt? And you go and extend the bill of Lekki Port. All the port be in Lagos. They are not in Port Harcourt, they are not in Wariwal, they have a port. Why don't you repair that port? And the morning you want to build this school, when are they starting the lecture? Because already these people, they have started the lecture, they have hostel, they have everything. Okay, why do you want to split it now? When will you build this? Which day? And how can that thing be possible within 2 years? Because you are going. You are going, we cannot vote you again. This thing you are doing for us, we cannot vote you again. Simple. With the situation in US. Because I have seen one name, Yakini, Ademola, Ogulele. So we don't know where that name come from. I have it in US with the pictures of a man, but very soon I will publish the picture of the person and the name, because it's 3 names. Nobody can have 6 names. Nobody. You can't have 6 names. And you can see what is happening there. They even call a budget and planning minister, who is Gbodo, former governor of Kebbi State. For 8 years, he cannot even commission one road in Kebbi State. And they give him budget and planning. Now, they call him in US. We see it, and everything is going around, which is embarrassing. So, we want this thing to remain where is it. Nigerian aviation technology in Zaria is there. Nobody can take it away. We cannot take it, and nobody can intimidate us. Nobody. Maybe one settled time you even carry Nigerian Defense Academy to Lagos. Police pull back in within you will carry. Where do you get the land to build them? You tell us before when they put you up on May 23, 29, 2003. You said 4 years is 4 years for university. Now as you want to go for strike, how comes? What happened when us want to go for strike? Why don't you address all those problems that we are doing? You always bring problem from problem to problem. Where are we going, for God's sake? All the road, I see you say road to Akure, to Awuchi, and to other this thing. Which day the road will be completed? You know, complete from here 30 kilometers, Abuja to Kaduna. You are making another project that you cannot be able to. And all the budget you make, you don't submit it. You will make an award of a letter, no PPR, no public procurement law. You just sign it and apply it for yourself without proving from the National Assembly. This National Assembly, they're supposed to even go because they are not doing any job. How can somebody make all this type of budget and put it to himself and then I see they invite Minister of Finance. He's a liar. Means what was his record before he became Minister of Finance? What is his record on the finance sector? Even the Cardoso, which bank does he work? He worked a bank and the bank collapsed completely. He finished the bank. Let him tell us the bank that he worked. We know the bank that he worked. The bank is not existing any longer. This is the person you bring as a CBN and you expect result. We don't expect any result. What we expect, 2027, we vote you out.
The same Bauchi State governor that is going against the new tax reform bill has just budgeted 400 million for 6 computers for an office. 400 million naira to buy 6 computers. This is the same governor that is going around telling people that President Tinubu do not mean well for the North. This is the same governor that is going against the tax reform bill. Now he has budgeted 400 million naira for 6 computers. Now my concern is, if we're just getting to know this now, can you imagine how much the state must have been budgeting for computers in the past years? When I talk about northern politicians not ready to develop their region, people will think maybe I'm picking on them. No, the reality is clear. Like we can all see it. How can you budget 400 million naira to buy 6 computers? What kind of computers are you buying? For goodness sake.
No going back, òun ni ọ̀rọ̀ ilé yìí. Ìyá mi àti bàbá mi, ẹ bá mi wá fi sínú comment section wípé no going back. Mo kí bàbá wa ṣe Sunday Igboho ṣá. Owó bàbá dá mi. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni mo kí bàbá wa emeritus, bàbá wa prophet, professor, doctor, chief, everything. Bàbá wa Akintoye. Kọ́lọ́run ń jẹ́ ká túbọ̀ bí wọn pẹ́. Kọ́lọ́run ń jẹ́ kí wọ́n gùn lẹ́mìí fún wa. Wọ́n kú ìfi ọmọ ènìyàn ṣe, wọ́n kú gbogbo ìgbà, wọ́n kú àdúrótì èrò ọmọ aládé wípé a wà nínú ilẹ̀ ìlérí la wà, bọ́ká bọ́ nínú oko ẹrú. Ẹ ṣé gan ni bàbá. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin bàbá tí a lè dárúkọ tán àti ẹ̀yin ẹgbẹ́ tẹ́ sì ṣera yín lóṣùṣù ọ̀wọ̀ tá a sì dúró lórí wípé àló ti di dandan sẹ́ẹ̀ jíran wa kó bọ́ nínú oko ẹrú. Mo kí yín o. Àmọ́ lóore lágbára lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run, ire òun la máa fi gba ire, àní fi bí sán fún ara wa. Èwo la wá mú wá fún wa ní ọjọ́ títí òní wípé ká ṣe àgbéyẹ̀wò ẹni o, ká rí wípé àwa ò parọ́, àmójú ajé kò ní sọ ní torí wípé kí ni ẹyẹ òkè bí ẹyẹ òkè bí eku ọmọ èèyàn fọhùn bí ènìyàn. Àwọn kan wá sọ wípé ṣé Nàìjíríà nìkan ni? Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Nàìjíríà nìkan kọ́, bọ̀ àwọn ìlú míì tó kù kí ló ń fọwọ́ ara wọn fà? Nàìjíríà kí làwa fọwọ́ ara wa fà tó fi ń rí bẹ́ẹ̀? Torí wípé nǹkan tó bá ti pọ̀ jù, ó ti pọ̀ jù ni, ó ti pọ̀ jù. Èmi ò dá arákùnrin yìí, èmi ò dá lẹ́bi o pẹ̀lú gbogbo nǹkan tó sọ yìí. Torí pé àwọn rí wípé ìgbà tí èèyàn tí wọ́n wà ń bẹ̀ níṣe la ká gidi borí, adẹ̀ ká gidi borí náà títí ìsìn. Alátakò làwọn ń rò wípé a jẹ́, whereas àwa ò kì í ṣe alátakò. Àwa ń dúró fún ẹ̀tọ́ wa ni, àwọn náà ní ẹ̀tọ́ lọ́wọ́ wa àwa ò gba ẹ̀tọ́ tiwọn mọ́ ti tiwa torí wípé kó bàbá wa máa kọ̀ntínú báyìí ní gbogbo ìgbà lóòrèkóòrè àti àwọn ọmọ tó ń bọ̀ tó jẹ́ pé àwa là ń fà wọ́n wálé ayé gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn ìyá wa náà wọ́n ṣe fà wá wálé ayé irú ilé ayé wo ló ń fà àwọn ọmọ wa ń sìn ẹ máa wá rí oríṣiríṣi tí màá gbé wa màá fọwọ́ lẹ́rọ̀bà èmi àti àjọ máa wò ó àánú abiyamọ náà àtúnṣe yín tó bá jẹ́ wípé eku ń ké bí eku ẹyẹ ń ké bí ẹyẹ ọmọ èèyàn fọ̀hún bí ènìyàn ni àwọn ọmọbìnrin méjì kan wà tó jẹ́ wípé ó lè jẹ́ wípé ordinary one tablet egbògi kóró kan ẹyọ kọ̀ọ̀kan ló nídìí ẹ̀kan láàárọ̀ ìkan lálẹ́ tó máa káàmù wọn dáhùn kò yẹ yín sì bọ ìlú ò dání ìyá tí ò tiẹ̀ rówó láti lè fi jẹun ṣóun ló fẹ́ mọ̀ bóyá ọmọ ẹ̀ ní challenges bóyá ó ní ìdòògùn tó máa fi lè káàmù ẹ̀ dáhùn bóyá nǹkan kan bóyá ó ní depression bóyá ó wà under mental illness kò yẹ yín sìn oríṣiríṣiríṣiríṣi bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn ẹlòmíì wá ẹ̀rù ń bà á láti lọ sí hospital àwọn ará ilé gan wọ́n ti fẹ́ lòmíì ṣe yẹ̀yẹ́ wípé alágànná ni ẹ má dá lóhùn nínú ìlú òyìnbó tá wà ẹbí á dá sí àwọn ìjọba á tún dá sí díẹ̀ gan ní tẹbí torí wípé a ti pọ̀ jù ni lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ṣe ké bí eku lẹ́yẹ ò ṣe ké bí ẹyẹ lọ́mọ èèyàn ṣe fọ̀hún bí ènìyàn làwa ṣe ń sọ wípé tó bá wá rí báyìí ẹ jẹ́ kó ní kálukú lọ jórúkọ bàbá ẹ̀ ariwo tá ń pa nìyẹn ogun tá ń lọ nìyẹn àwa ò gbógun wà àwa ò fógun àfẹ́ ìtàjẹ̀ sílẹ̀ bó ṣe lè ń kó mọ̀ ìyá mi bàbá mi ẹ̀gbọ́n mi àti àbúrò mi màá fi ọwọ́ lẹ́rọ̀nsìn màá máa gbé àwọn fídíò yẹn màá máa gbé wọn wá lóríṣiríṣi tèmi àti yín tá máa jọ máa wò ó tẹ̀dẹ̀ máa fi comment sílẹ̀ wípé ṣé no going back ni tàbí no going back kọ́ torí tó bá rí báyìí lọ wọ́n máa fi rí bíi 20 years màá wá gbé wá nígbẹ̀yìn fídíò yẹn ni màá wá gbé wá nígbẹ̀yìn àwa ò dẹ̀ fẹ́ wẹ̀ torí ó ti fẹ́ débẹ̀ Yorùbá lójú ti gan ni Yorùbá wọ́n máa ń dáàbò bo orúkọ ẹbí ni Yorùbá máa ń dáàbò bo orúkọ ara wọn gan pàápàá atọrọ bára ká máa tọrọ owó kiri ká kọ́mọ sẹ́yìn kò ń ṣe tìran tiwa máa fi eléyìí tí mo fẹ́ fi wọ̀nyí tó sọ wípé ìgbà tóun dé Nàìjíríà ni kò ń ṣe láfíríkà àwọn Yorùbá àwọn Áfíríkà àwọn Yorùbá àwọn ò rí èèyàn kankan tó jẹ́ wípé ó ń tọrọ nǹkan ó ní kí lẹ lè gbà lọ́wọ́ wọn ó láyà bẹ́ẹ̀ máa ṣe gbàgbára lọ́wọ́ wọn má gbé yẹn náà wá ẹ rí ìyẹn ló wá kó sí àwọn tó jẹ́ pé gọ́vnà wa gangan tó kó lé wọn lórí tó ń gbàbọ̀dè fún wa tó ń gba owó wípé káwọn náà tó wá da ọmọ Nàìjíríà ọmọ Yorùbá kó wá dà wá láàmú ẹ wo Yàyà Bello mo máa gbé wá ń sìn ẹ wo Yàyà Bello ẹ wo nǹkan tó ń sára ló dà Nàìjíríà nìkan lẹ ti lè rí tó bá mú èèyàn wípé ọ̀daràn tó máa fi jó àti ẹ̀rín tó máa fi lọ́ọ́ máa pàdé ẹ̀ tó bá fi sílẹ̀ because ebi ti pa wọ́n débi wípé ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ tí àbá bóyá tí n bá débẹ̀ bóyá 5,000 lè kàn mí kò ń ṣe wípé ń ṣe nínú wọn kún gbogbo ẹ̀yìn bọ́n ti fi ebi pa wọ́n kí ni ṣe Sunday Igboho sọ nínú UK tó wà ń sìn ṣé gbogbo nǹkan táwọn ibi táwọn ń gbà kọjá yìí ṣé a lè ṣe ni a lè ṣe times 10 ẹ̀ bọ̀ torí wípé nǹkan tó pílànì fún wa gangan àwọn tó kó wa lẹ́rù àtàwọn tó kó wa lẹ́rù fún nǹkan tó ń ṣe. Bàbá Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu òun náà fi wá play game ni kí ló fà tó ń campaign nígbà yẹn wípé a kì í ṣe nǹkan kan náà bọ̀ torí wípé òun náà fẹ́ agbára yìí láti fà lé àwọn ìdílé ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ ni láti fà lé àwọn ìran ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ ni ẹ wo ìyálọ́jà ẹ wo Ṣèyí Tinubu kinní kan Tinubu ìyàwó Tinubu ọmọ Tinubu ẹ wo ọmọ Tinubu tó wà l'Amẹ́ríkà ẹ wo ilé tó rà ọmọ 20-something years ó rà á kàṣe ni pẹ̀lú gbogbo ẹ̀sùn tán fi kan Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu kí ni àbọ̀ ẹ̀ ṣérú àwọn tó fẹ́ tún ìlú ṣe nìyẹn àní kò tí bó ṣe lè tún ìlú yẹn ṣe bá ṣe wà yìí ká tó ṣe ibo ni kápítà wà tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ ṣe gbọ́ nǹkan tí bàbá aláwùsá ṣe gbọ́ nǹkan tó ń sọ ọ̀hún bá gbé anything lo Èkó tíjọba wá padà sí wọn lọ́wọ́ á gba times 10 ẹ̀ padà sí má ṣe kí ni times 10 ẹ̀ already àti gbà padà torí pé kí ni àwa làwa rò wípé ojoojúmọ́ ló ń lajú sí ojoojúmọ́ làwọn náà wake up sí gọ́tà yìí sọ wípé à ń ṣe nǹkan kan náà nìyẹn má gbé tí ẹ̀yà bèrè wá sìn àti tí èyí tí mo sọ wípé ṣáwọn ọmọ tó ń bọ̀ lẹ́yìn ṣé 70% wọn ò ní dá báyìí ìlú ibi tó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ kò ń ṣe ní Áfíríkà kò yẹ yín dìn ó lè jẹ́ Hawaii ó lè jẹ́ bóyá Brazil tàbí bìkan bọ̀ kò ń ṣe ní Áfíríkà kò ń ṣe Nàìjíríà ṣé kò wá nílò dá báyìí kó tó di pé ó dá báyìí la sọ wípé ẹ jẹ́ kó ní kálukú lọ ń lọ ẹ̀ gbogbo yín lẹ mọ̀ ẹ mọ̀ wípé ṣe là ń fọ̀ síjọ mọ orúkọ bàbá kan náà ẹ ń fọ̀ sí wa láti jẹ́ orúkọ bàbá kan náà a kì í ṣe ọmọ bàbá kan náà a kì í ṣe ọmọ bàbá kan náà bó ṣe lè wù kó mọ Nàìjíríà ò kì í ṣe sọ́ọ̀nìmù wa wọ́n tẹ̀ mọ́ wa lórí ni wọ́n gbélé wa lórí ni wọ́n wọ̀ fún wa bí aṣọ ni kò ń ṣe orúkọ sọ́ọ̀nìmù wa. Governor try ó ń gbìyànjú ni President try ó ń gbìyànjú ni ibi tẹ́ bá gbìyànjú dé tẹ́ bá gbé sílẹ̀ àwọn tó máa wá bàjẹ́ máa bàjẹ́ àwọn eléyìí ò kí ẹ gbà wá ìrà wá kalẹ̀ Bàbá Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu àtàwọn governors kó ní kálukú lọ òun ló lè jẹ́ priority òun ló lè jẹ́ yí ẹ̀yin gan náà a mọ̀ wípé kò rọrùn bọ́ ẹ lè ṣe é àwọn èèyàn kan ló jókòó náà kọ constitution no 99 náà kọ yá náà tún kọ ó tún kọ ní 99 bíbá yìí ni ó jókòó ní tó tún kọ kò yẹ yín sáwọn èèyàn kan ní ẹ̀yin náà àìmọye nǹkan tẹ́ lè ṣe é torí àwọn pípù yìí tẹ́ bá gbélé tẹ́ bá ti lọ ẹ má jẹ́ kí àjẹràn yín ẹ má jẹ́ èyí tó ń gbé yín ṣépè tó yìí ó tó náà lójú ayé yín tẹ́ ẹ bá wá sí mọ́ ara ó lẹ́rọ wípé ó máa jẹ́ náà kí má fa ọ̀rọ̀ gùn jùlọ ẹ jẹ́ kí n lọ gbé fídíò náà wá ká fojú inú wò.
ó ṣe pàtàkì torí pé ó yẹ ká ti ṣe ṣáájú àkókò yìí bàbá Akíntóyè àwọn ni wọ́n kọ ìwé kan sí ìran Fúlàní kan èyí tí ó ń gbógun ti olóyè Sunday Igboho. Bàbá kọ ìwé sí Professor Gololo ni wọ́n kọ ìwé sí látàrí fídíò èyí tí arákùnrin ọ̀hún tó ti fi bu olóyè Sunday Igboho tó sì ní kí ìjọba kí wọ́n fi ọwọ́ òfin gbé. Ìwé tí bàbá kọ yìí òun náà ni tí a máa kà fúnra wa ń bí lónìí tí a bá wá rí ẹnikẹ́ni tí ó bá ní ìbéèrè ẹ dákun nọ́mbà tí ẹ lè pè sí òun náà ni ó wà ní ojú mọ́wòrán yìí àwárọ̀ yìí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ wò wá lórí Ọmọpọ̀rọ̀wọ́ media ẹ bá wa share ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ń wò wá lórí Yorùbá World Media náà bákan náà ẹ bá wa share ní èdè Ìgbò òun ni bàbá kọ ìwé ọ̀hún tí wọ́n sì kí ọ̀wé ọ̀hún láti fi jẹ́ kí gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà mọ̀ pé lóòótọ́ ohun tí Professor Gololo tó sọ yìí irọ́ tó jìnnà sóòótọ́ òun náà ni tó sọ ọ̀hún ẹnikẹ́ni tó bá wá nílò ẹ̀dàwé ọ̀hún ẹ lè kàn sí mi tàbí kí ẹ̀ka sí gbogbo Yorùbá world media pátápátá ni a ní ẹ̀dàwé ọ̀hún lànà ní ọwọ́. Bàbá sọ wípé the war by Fulani leaders against Sunday Igboho need to stop now. Written by Professor Banji Akintoye, the leader of Yoruba self-determination movement. Bàbá pè ní yesterday, January 5, ní ẹgbẹ́ sọ́nà mú ló ti yẹ ká ti ṣe ti pẹ́ lápẹ́ wọ́n wá dí bákan náà ní 2025. I witnessed a video showing an important Fulani leader, Professor Gbodo, screaming on a voice message against Chief Sunday Igboho, a prominent leader of the Yoruba self-determination struggle. Professor Gbodo was like many other Fulani notable before him, stream might and mind to paint Sunday Igboho as a criminal whom the federal government should arrest and detain. Professor Gbodo attack on Sunday Igboho were so harsh and so lacking in truth that I have decided to make the truth available to him. I need to say that in putting this true information forward, I am not acting in any spirit of anger or malice. I just believe that every prominent citizen of Nigeria needs to have the truth as the basis of its public pronouncement in the interest of us all. Professor Gbodo thinks that seeking for self-determination for one's nation is a crime. This highly educated patriotism of ours is gloriously wrong in that field. Demanding self-determination for one's nation is entirely in accordance with the provision of the international law and the Nigerian law. The United Nations Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous People affirm that indigenous peoples have the right to self-determination, and that members of an indigenous people have the right to seek to retrieve their nation's self-determination from the country that their nation currently belong to, provided that they do it without violence or destructiveness. The African Charter of Women and People's Rights fully affirm exactly the same now, since Nigeria is a member of the United Nations and the African Union and a signatory to these two international laws. Both laws are part of the law of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Former Nigerian President Buhari, speaking at the United Nations General Assembly in 2016 and 2017, acknowledged that if any nation in Nigeria seek self-determination peacefully through a peaceful organization, then the Nigerian state will have no other option than to negotiate with such a nation. President Buhari even added that it is immoral to deny self-determination to any nation that peacefully seek it. Therefore, since the Yoruba self-determination struggle is well known to be an afforded and consistently peaceful and a law-abiding movement, Sunday Igboho as a leader it is breaking no law of Nigeria. No activities in the struggle for Yoruba self-determination and the separation from Nigeria is breaking any law. As Professor Gbodo may not know, the Yoruba self-determination struggle published an annual in 2020 to guide activities of the struggle and to inform it is Yoruba people and the rest of the world about its choice in part to the self-determination of the Yoruba nation. Copies of this manual titled Yoruba Nation Choosing the Noble Path to its Noble Goal. Title tí bàbá sọ bí ètò bá ó ṣe jọ máa bí a ó ṣe gba òmìnira bó ṣe lọ náà nìyí. The title Yoruba Nation Choosing the Noble Path to its Noble Goal was sent to the President of Nigeria and its Secretary, to the Secretary General of the United Nations, in response to Professor Gululo's massively fairly attack against Sunday Igboho on social media. The highest organ of the Yoruba self-determination struggle has directed that the manual be forwarded this mental plan that a copy must be made to reach Professor Gululo. I said this yesterday. The following is the background story to Sunday Igboho intervention in Igaga in 2021. The intervention that make Professor Gululo and other Fulani notable lately set against Sunday Igboho, the northern western province of the Yoruba homeland, the area of Yewa, Ibarapa, and Okeogun, has also been a peaceful rural area and the home of every productive Yoruba farmers about 2010. A certain citizen of the province named Fatai Aborode returned from the abroad after many years of study in Germany, after obtaining a doctorate degree in engineering, and after an impressive professional career. On arrival back home, Dr. Aborode started a large modern farm, which at a peak of the source by 2020, employ as many as 320 workers of various specialization and grade. From 2015, large number of the Fulani began to descend to the area immediately, killing, mailing, raping, kidnapping, extorting ransom, destroying farm seed and village, horrible wrecking all piece of the security. They even had a coordinator. They appointed chieftains with the title of Sheriki. The reign of the terror was a fierce, and even the urbans of the area live in fear of the Fulani Sheriki Walamayen. One of the Fulani group who once kidnapped a daughter of one of the Oba, and they held her for many days in the bush until a large ransom was raised and paid by the Oba. On December 12, 2020, a group of heavily armed Fulani men ambushed Dr. Aborode's car on the public road near his farm, killed him, and fiercely mounted his body in the public orchard. That followed. Another citizen of the area, a young man named Sunday Adeyema, better known as Sunday Igboho, who lived in the city of Dandan, decided to do something about the situation. On January 8, 2021, taking some youth with him and respondibly asking for the police protection for him and his group, Sunday Igboho headed for the town of Igaga, the reported headquarters of the Fulani Sheriki. In the 10th village, after 10th village on his way, large crowd of youth across the joined his group, and so too did many policemen. By the time it reached Igangan. The following had swelling of over 3,000 youths. He found the Pereki surrounded by a gang of many Fulani militant men, with AK-47 rifle. As Sunday Igboho stood before the Pereki, one of the Pereki militant men shot at him. It true, shot at him. But he waved his shot aside and the claim continued to address the Pereki. He informed the Pereki that the people of the area wanted all the Fulani to leave their area in the interest of peace. There was no violence in his word or action, and the police were there observing the situation. The Pereki did not argue before Sunday Igboho left. He advised the Pereki and his crowd of killers and kidnappers to leave area within 7 days. When he came back 7 days later with his large following, the Pereki and Fulani marauders and fled from the province. Sunday Igboho became an instant national hero among the Yoruba people. This was written by Professor Banji Akintoye. The title, it is the Fulani War against Sunday Igboho needs to stop now. But instantly too, the Fulani people of all rank, including even the Fulani in the highest peak of the Nigerian federal government in Igangan, became an unbearable Fulani failure, and Sunday Igboho became the Fulani's number one enemy, an enemy that must be eliminated, The reason for their furiousness against Sunday Igboho is that since the late 1990, Fulani leaders from the Nigeria had been busy mobilizing Fulani leaders from all over the West African, and together they have held many meetings and had ultimately decided that their Fulani nation that had never owned a own land must now own a own land, must choose Nigeria as the homeland that Allah has given to the Fulani, and must use force to seize the homeland from the indigenous people of the Nigerian, convert all into the Fulani homeland. This Fulani agenda quickly resulted in hundreds of Fulani hideouts all over the Yoruba forest. Of this Fulani secret seizure of Yoruba land, their settlement in the Oke-Ogun area was the most successful, with Igangan as its center. Sunday Igboho's explosion of the Fulani from Igangan and the street was therefore a big blow to the Fulani agenda. For months, high rank of Fulani citizens went to visit Igangan and neighboring town as if they were mourning for the Fulani failures there. Since Sunday Igboho had committed one crime, they could not get him arrested by the Fulani-led federal government of Nigeria, but they brooded over other options. Meanwhile, Sunday Igboho's fame and support among the Yoruba people bloomed in May 2021. The Yoruba self-determination struggle embarked on massive rally across the Yoruba land to promote their struggle with Sunday Igboho as a leader of the rallies. The rallies turned out to be the biggest masses rally over the Nigerian history. The rally started in Ibadan, where a crowd of 1.3 million people participated, and went to Abeokuta, Osogbo, Akure, and Ado-Ekiti, with the huge crowd increasing at every stage. Ado-Ekiti are the largest crowded of number, about 3.1 million people. Each of the rallies were wonderful, orderly and peacefully. Nobody was cautioned or arrested by the police. Nobody was wounded, and no property was destroyed or was damaged. Rally táwa ṣe nígbà náà, ilé tá ṣe lóṣogbo ni, tá ṣe nìbàdàn ni, ládó èkìtì ni, lẹ́kìtì ni, kò sí èèyàn kan tó kù, kò sí èèyàn kan tí wọ́n pa, kò sí ilé tá jó. That rally was the most peaceful rally, and then the people turned out in number. Nothing less than 3.1 million people. Youth turned out to support the Sunday Igboho at that time. Then, on July 4th, 2021, ọjọ́ burúkú, ọjọ́ mọ́ni gbàgbé, ọjọ́ tó ní agbára jù nínú ọ̀ràn Yorùbá, ọjọ́ tá a kà tá a lè kìtà tán, ọjọ́ tá a kì tá a lè kì tán, ọjọ́ tá a pè lórúkọ tá a lè sọrúkọ tá a pè tán, ọjọ́ tó ní agbára nínú àwọn ọjọ́, ọjọ́ tó le nínú àwọn ọjọ́, ọjọ́ tó jẹ́ wípé ọmọ ń pè ìyá ò lè dá ọmọ lóhùn, ọjọ́ tí ọmọ ń pè bàbá tí bàbá gan ò lè fọhùn, ọjọ́ tí ẹ̀gbọ́n ń pè àbúrò ṣùgbọ́n tí ò lè dáhùn, ọjọ́ tí oníkálukú ń pera wọn ṣùgbọ́n tí ò sẹ́ni tí ò dá oníkálukú lóhùn, ọjọ́ tá a rí gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọjọ́ ogun, ọjọ́ tá a rí gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọjọ́ ọjà, ọjọ́ tá a rí gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọjọ́ wàhálà, ọjọ́ tá a rí gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọjọ́ mọ́nigbàgbé, ọjọ́ tí ọmọ ń ké tí ìyá ò lè rẹ̀ lẹ́kún, ọjọ́ tí ìyá ń ké tí bàbá náà ò sì lè rẹ̀ lẹ́kún, ọjọ́ tí kálukú ń wojú ara wọn wípé níbo ni ó wá gbégbà, báwo la ṣe ṣe, ọ̀nà wo la gbégbà, ọjọ́ tí ò sí ẹnikẹ́ni tó lè ṣàánú, ọjọ́ tó jẹ́ wípé Olódùmarè ọba tó dá ẹnìkọ̀ọ̀kan nìkan la láàánú, ọjọ́ tí Lady K ń pariwo wípé wọ́n ti dé, ẹ dákun ẹ gbà wá, wọ́n ti dé, ẹ dákun ẹ jọ wá, ọjọ́ tí oníkálukú ń pariwo, ọjọ́ tí igbe ń fọhùn, ọjọ́ tí àrá ń sán, ọjọ́ tí òjò ń kù lẹ̀lẹ̀lẹ̀lẹ̀, ọjọ́ tí ariwo ń fọhùn ní mẹ́ta ní mọ̀ọ́yá, ọjọ́ tí ìyá ń sunkún tí ò sì lè rẹ́ mọ́, ọjọ́ tó burú, ọjọ́ tó ga, ọjọ́ tá a lè gbàgbé, ọjọ́ tá a mọ̀ wí, tá a mọ̀ sọ, ọjọ́ tá a mọ̀ ròyìn, ọjọ́ tí ò mọ̀ jẹ́ ọjọ́ tí èmi àti ẹ ò mọ̀ sọ wípé ní ọjọ́ yìí ìran Fúlàní dóró, nǹkan báyìí àṣà báyìí ni wọ́n dá, ọjọ́ tí wọ́n dóró tí wọn ò mọ̀ póró ni wọ́n dá, ọjọ́ tí wọ́n ṣèkà tí wọ́n tún tẹsẹ̀ mọ́rìn, ọjọ́ tí wọ́n ṣe wípé òòjọ́ báyìí òun náà ni olúwere àmọ́ pani ni, ọjọ́ tí wọ́n ṣe bí wípé àníṣe ẹni táwọn ń lé yìí, ẹni táwọn fẹ́ pa yìí, àwọn ti rẹ́yìn ẹ̀ tí wọn ò mọ̀ wípé ẹ̀dá tí èèyàn kan ò lè pa tàbí ẹ̀dá tẹ́nìkan ò lè mú, Olódùmarè ọba nìkan ló sì lè mú, tàbí ó yí kí n sọ wípé ọjọ́ tí Ọlọ́run ò bá ti sọ wípé ikú dé, ṣùgbọ́n tí ikú ọ̀hún tó yẹ̀gẹ̀rẹ̀ tó yẹ̀bàrá lórí àwọn ẹni tí wọ́n fẹ́ pa, ọjọ́ tí àwọn kan sùn tí wọn ò sì lè dìde mọ́, ọjọ́ tí àwọn kan lọ tá a pè wọ́n títí tí wọn ò lè jáàmù, ọjọ́ tí Adògán àti Àfáà, ọjọ́ tí wọ́n jáde kù láyé lọ́jọ́ àìròtì, ọjọ́ tí wọ́n ń jà fún ìlú, ọjọ́ tí wọ́n ń fẹ́ kí ìlú dá, ọjọ́ tí wọ́n ń fẹ́ kí orílẹ̀ Nàìjíríà, orílẹ̀ Yorùbá kó dáa fún ìran, kó dáa fún ẹbí wọn, ṣùgbọ́n tí àwọn agbẹnipa sì pa wọ́n ní pàpà, àmọ́ tí wọ́n wá ní form of DSS, ẹni tí ó ṣẹ̀, ẹni tí ó rò, tẹ̀ wá kó DSS lọ́lẹ̀ lóru ọ̀gànjọ́, ọjọ́ tí Nàìjíríà ọ̀gbìn ó sunkún tí wọn ò ní rómi, torí pé Ọlọ́run bá sọ gan, ó ní I hate the hand that is full of the blood. Ìdí nìyí tí Nàìjíríà ò ṣe lè dá, wọ́n tó bá ń gbàdúrà pé kí Nàìjíríà ó dá, you are just wasting your prayer. It's better you channel your prayer into some meaningful aspect tó máa lè ní impact nínú ayé àti nínú ayé ẹbí ẹ, because forget about the Nigeria is gone and can never be back again. On January 4th, 2021, at 1 o'clock in the dead of the night, some operative of the Nigerian Department of State Security, DSS, leading an army of over 200 Fulani militant men and terrorists, show up outside Sunday Igboho's Ibadan home. They had come not to arrest him, but to kill him. They had come not to arrest him, but to kill him. Wọ́n wá láti wá arrest olóyè Sunday Igboho. Wọ́n wá láti wá pa ni because wọ́n tún gbé babaláwo dání nínú àwọn tí wọ́n rí wọn pé lóòótọ́ wọ́n tún gbé babaláwo dání tí yẹn sọ pé olóńgbò yìí àníṣe òun náà ní ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ kí ló dé lésù béèrè fún ẹ̀tọ́ lọ́nà tó tọ́ because self-determination it is eligible every citizen human right. You have your right to your self-determination without violence. Àti ìbárawajà kí ló dé tí wọ́n ṣe wá gbógun ti wá. They came to kill him, not to arrest him. They blocked the main highway and the other road passing through the neighborhood, deeply surrounded the house. They embarked from the front on shooting and destroying everything of Falu's car, motorcycle, and vehicle, including neighbor car, everything. Awakening by the noise, Sunday rose to a window, yanked it open, and shouted, "Who are you people? What do you want?" They recognized his force, and some of them caught sight of his face by the brief illumination at the window, and they fired countless bullets at that window. They fired countless bullets at that window. Then they forced their way into the home. More than 100 gun blasting in the many neighbor house. People fainted in shock, starting with the room where Sunday Igboho had appeared at the window. They pulled down the house room by room, leaving nothing to chase. They killed two of his people asleep in the house, and they rounded up the rest. They even shoot and kill the family cat. Yes, the family cat, believing that it was Sunday Igboho, transformed into a cat miraculously. Though they searched and they shredded of the whole house from floor to roof, they never saw Sunday Igboho anywhere in it. When they left, they took the two bloodshot corpses with them, as well as the person who they are arrested in the house. The DSS operative returned to Abuja by road in the outskirts of Ibadan. They paid off the militant men who they had hired for the invasion of Sunday Igboho's home, and those departed to their hiding out in the same forest near Ibadan. In Ado-Ekiti in Ekiti State, the DSS operative dropped off the two corpses at the public mortuary. Back in Abuja, Nigerian capital city, the DSS hurried to display the public a collection of the weapon which they claim that they had seized from Sunday Igboho's house. Their intervention was to use this paint the picture that Sunday Igboho was an instrumentalist who had been holding weapon, but their luck quickly run out when many citizens in different parts of the Nigeria identified the displaced weapon collection at the same collection which the DSS had displayed before its collection with a previous criminal case. The Office of the Attorney General of Nigeria then issued a statement denying government involvement in the attack on the Sunday Igboho home. But when the DSS arranged the court, the men and the women whom they had arrested in the Sunday Igboho home, lawyer from the Attorney General office came to present the DSS case. The government then announced that Sunday Igboho was wanted by the law. In Ibadan, Sunday Igboho people and lawyers filed his case in the Nigerian High Court against government and its agency that they had acted illegally by coming to his house in the night, that they had ambushed his women and civil rights, that they had killed some people asleep in his home, that they had destroyed his home and a lot of other properties, etc. Having no answer to this charge, the DSS and the government lawyer pleaded that the justification of their action against Sunday Igboho was that he had been engaging in secessionist activities by advocating the self-determination and separation of its Yorubanation from Nigeria. But it is judgment that court ruled that self-determination was the inalienable right of every nation. The advocating of self-determination was not an offense under the law of Nigeria, that the government against had acted illegally by going to a citizen home in the night, by bombarding the house, by killing people there, and by destroying the house. The court then awarded 20 billion naira as damage for Sunday Igboho against the government and its agent. The court ordered finally that the government order declaring Sunday Igboho wanted should be withdrawn by the government. One there was some war 20 billion. Maybe one san ni yaka ti ma àwọn san government ni wọ́n san ẹ̀rí yaka tún gbé wọn lọ court lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí pé wọ́n violate rules sí lawyer, but nígbà tí ó sófin Nàìjíríà bó ṣe máa rí nìyẹn. This passed until the deadline set by the law for filing an appeal against the High Court judgment passed. If Nigeria had been a land of law, that should have been end of this case in the court. But under the Fulani lead government, Nigeria was very far from being a land of law. Nigeria was very far from being a land of law. Week after the deadline had passed, the government agency and their lawyers appealed before the court seeking to file an appeal. The judge responded that they had lost the deadline for filing an appeal, but this was Nigeria. A week or so later, the court judge was already transferred or just show aside, and a new judge, a Fulani judge, was brought from somewhere in northern Nigeria to hear the appeal, and he did what he had been brought to do. He struck down every single point in the earlier judgment of the court. However, Sunday Igboho's lawyer immediately embarked on the step needed for an appeal to Nigerian Supreme Court. The case is a civil case filed by Sunday Igboho against federal government of Nigeria. There is no criminal charge against Sunday Igboho anywhere, but the Fulani lead federal government would not relent because Igboho was and still is regarded by the Fulani as the greatest enemy of Fulani. On July 20, 2021, while Sunday Igboho and his wife were waiting for a flight to Europe at the Cotonou airport in Benin Republic, he was arrested. The new flash through Cotonou immediately, and Sunday Igboho kinsmen went into action immediately, certain that this was a Nigerian corruption and illegality in action. They found that the plan was to switch Sunday Igboho to Nigeria that night, but their lawyer made their point impossible, and so their fellow roughly 13 months of Sunday Igboho detention in Cotonou, partly in prison, custody, and partly under house arrest, without any criminal charge, without any court case, all for what the authority described it as investigation. On the whole, the Benin Republic Authority are straightforward people, very much unlikely Nigerian official. It was obviously that they were acting under some corrupt foreign pressure. Even so, the leader of the Yoruba self-determination struggle, because they operate under a strict rules that they must never let any of their people suffer unjust treatment. So the federal government of Benin Republic at the ECOWAS court, and the ECOWAS court ruled the Benin Republic must pay sum of 20 million. Again, 20 billion. Ní court ní kí Nigeria san. The same ECOWAS again, wọ́n tún ní kí àwọn Benin Republic wọ́n almost 30 months. Almost 30 months. Lórí Sunday Igboho lò ní Cotonou. Then wọ́n wá gbẹ́jọ́ lọ sí ECOWAS. ECOWAS wá ní kí àwọn náà san 20 million. Sever about 55 million Nigerian for unjust detention. Yes, our Yoruba self-determination struggle is a peaceful, law-abiding citizen and component movement. We know our right. We are characterable toward other, but we don't tolerate unjust persecution of our people. We want our Fulani compatriots to give up their campaign of flashhood against one of our foremost leaders, Sunday Igboho. By the grace of God, we Yoruba shall soon peacefully depart from Nigeria and begin under our own patriotic and dedicated leaders to live the life of progress and a high quality prosperity that we had loved very much. We say proudly to the world that our new country shall be a friendly and hopeful neighbor to all its neighbors, and a country decently unholding and dignity of a black race, a country that all other countries in the world shall respect and confidently do business with. This was written by Professor Banji Akintoye, and the whole letter was directed to Fulani leader, which is Professor Garus Gololo, who uttered a criminal word against Sunday Igboho through his media race. And the title of this is "The War by Fulani Leaders Against Sunday Igboho Need to Stop Now," written by Professor Banji Akintoye, the leader of Yoruba self-determination movement. These are what Baba have said to the Fulani to understand that fighting for the self-determination, it is not a crime. Oloye Sunday Igboho have never committed any crime. And all the rally that we did in Osogbo, in Ibadan, Ado-Ekiti, Akure was peaceful rally. And the rally was turned out with the most highest crowded, that the record shows that that crowd have never gathered in the Nigerian history, except during the Awolowo campaign. Then Kiwalese olóyè Sunday Igboho tí Fúlàní ṣe wípé the only thing táwọn tún lè lò ní pé kí wọ́n tún takò. Then gbogbo eléyìí tí wọ́n ń sọ yìí gbogbo wa la mọ̀ wípé self-determination it is enable human right. Nigeria signed treaties wípé everybody have the right to his own self-determination. We have the right to live peacefully, even though Nigerian government plead in the UAE plead that Palestine should have their own self-determination. Just recently, the former president of Nigeria also plead that Palestinians should have their own self-determination and their own country. But why we Yoruba cannot have our own country and our own self-determination? What's the difference from what these stupid people are preaching outside, which they cannot emulate inside? That is Nigerian for you. That is government for you. That is government. They will be fighting for another country for their own self-determination. But within themselves, we say, no, we are not united. We are not one nation. We want to go. Why did not allow us to go? The reason is this. Let me tell you today. The reason is this. That they have nothing to fall on. The Fulani, Hausa Fulani have nothing to fall on. The Nigeria entirely have nothing to fall on except the Southwest. We have a South. We have everything. When you remove the Lagos, when you remove the allocation of Southwest from Nigeria, nothing again. Wọn ò ní nǹkan tí wọ́n fẹ́ follow me again. Kò sí tí wọ́n fẹ́ padà lọ dé bá mọ́, wọn ò ní anything. That is why tí wọn ò ṣe lè jẹ́ kí Yorùbá kó lọ. Because tí kì í bá ṣe allocation Yorùbá tí wọ́n fi ń gbéra níbo làwọn Fúlàní ti fẹ́ rówó ṣe. Even though in the olden days gan nígbà ayé lọ lúgà, they failed woefully. Láyé lọ lúgà, they could not be able to continue. Láyé lọ lúgà, Nigeria was divided into three. Northern Protectorate, South Protectorate, and West Protectorate. They are divided into three, but none of the two protectorates were survived. But only the South, only the West, they cannot survive. During the Awolowo regime, Awolowo was the only one that survived. The rest won't survive. That is why Loluga said in his book, at the end of this book, I think chapter 14, he said a marriage between the poor husband, which is not protectorate, and a rich wife, which is South protectorate. Only I pray the marriage be successful, and that marriage can never be a successful marriage. Whether I work for 400 years, our marriage can never be a fruitless marriage. It always be a fruitless marriage. It can never be fruitless. No matter ma jẹ́ kò dẹ̀ wá succeed. Ama ma jaba ina ni. Ama takora wa ni. We can always be kicking against ourselves. That is from the day one. Láti bí tá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ nìyẹn. We continue kick against ourselves. We continue blackmail ourselves. We continue destroy our image. That is how it will continue. It will continue. It will continue until we go on our way. Until we go on our way. Until tí wọ́n bá ní kó kálukú mọ́ lọ lọ́tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀. Àwa ò lọ lọ́nà tiwa. Àwọn ò lọ lọ́nà tí wọ́n ní kálukú lọ lọ́nà tiẹ̀. Nobody ẹnìkankan ò ní dí ẹnìkankan lọ́wọ́. Because the aim and objective of this Fulani, I will tell you the truth today. Their aim and objective is that Sunday Igboho should be in the grave or in the prison now. I'm telling you the truth. The Fulani agenda, the Fulani leader, what they want is Sunday Igboho to be in the grave now. That is their plan. To be in the grave or to be in the prison. But none of the two of their prayers, or none of the two of their none of the two of their wish have come to pass, because the man is still living alive. The man is still alive, fighting for the struggle. So it is so amazing. They are confused because there is no way the Fulani militant men will attack you and they will not get you down. Then after that, Senegal have visited Nigeria 2 or 3 times. After the whole saga, after the whole killing, after the whole struggle, he visited Nigeria 2 or 3 times. One, he went there for his mother burial. Another one, at least he went there to see the another one, at least 2. Yeah, so they couldn't do me anything. They are surprised. They don't even know who is backing up for him. But nobody except Olodumare, because he believes in what he's doing, that he's doing the right thing for his people. Despite that, some criticization from the people that he's fighting for, from the people that Sunday Igboho is fighting for, there is still among of all who are still criticizing him, who are still calling him thief, who are still calling him criminal, who are still calling him that he's working for the government. But despite that, he plays a dead ear to it. He focuses on what is needed for the Yoruba people to have. We need a peace in Yoruba land. And then we must fight until we get that peace. That is why the Yoruba adage said, Iberu ki soníṣẹ́ ẹni tó bá ṣe dópin la ó gbàlà.
Ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ jí gìrì. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gba òmìnira tiwa. Ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ jí gìrì. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gba òmìnira tiwa. Òmìnira ni Yorùbá fẹ́ o nílẹ̀ bàbá wa. Òmìnira ni Yorùbá fẹ́ o nílẹ̀ bàbá wa. Ọmọ aláṣọ ò gbọ́dọ̀ wá kìsà, ọmọ ẹlẹ́ran ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́gun. Ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ jí gìrì. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gba òmìnira tiwa. Ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ jí gìrì. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gba òmìnira tiwa. Òmìnira ni Yorùbá fẹ́ o nílẹ̀ bàbá wa. Òmìnira ni Yorùbá fẹ́ o nílẹ̀ bàbá wa. Ọmọ aláṣọ ò gbọ́dọ̀ wá kìsà, ọmọ ẹlẹ́ran ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́gun.